Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I am here with Lupin the Third Part 5 episode number 17 reaction 1 episode today. This month I am a little bit busy, so I'll try whichever week I can. I'll do 2 episodes. But I think like there'll be another day, probably the week after the next week, when I also have to do a 1 episode. So it'll kind of continue like that. But yeah, I am going to continue doing Lupin, and like I try my best to complete it as soon as possible, because I feel like season 5 I'm taking a lot more time to kind of complete, because of a lot of other things. I went on vacation, and now even after I'm back, I'm like kind of with a few things, other things, I'm busy a little bit. So yeah, it's taking a long time to complete season 5, but I will complete it, and obviously then move on to season 6, and then the other movies and everything that are still left. So yeah, next week I'm pretty sure I can do 2 episodes, but the week after that probably I'll be back with another 1 episode. And yeah, it'll kind of go like that. But either way, 1 episode today. And yeah, so okay, let's talk about the previous 2 episodes. The previous arc was probably one of my favorite arcs, uh, for a few reasons. Obviously, number one, the place that it was based off was was India. Like it's very obvious. So obviously, being a person from that country, like me being an Indian, I really loved the little references and everything that we kind of got. The stuff. I was like, wow. I was very happy about that. Not only that, the story in itself was really quite good. I have to say the character development went kind of like drastically. There was a huge character development. Up until now we kind of saw like Fujiko not talking to Lupin and all of that, but in this arc, Fujiko basically just hauls in Lupin, like drags him out of danger, and helps him out by the end. And not only that, even in the end, when she made it seem as if she's running away, keeping Lupin in danger, Lupin and Ami, putting them in danger, she was actually luring the other guys away, which unfortunately Ami did not realize. She thought she was Fujiko was betraying them or something, but obviously it was pretty obvious. So all that stuff, like, so the character development was immense. Not only that, in the end we kind of get to see Ami actually tell about her feelings to Lupin. And obviously Lupin was very surprised. Lupin was kind of that was like a very awkward situation for him. He was like, what? And then in the end, Ami was like, you just to wait, I'll show you what I can do. And Lupin was like, fine, I'm going to wait. And not only that, obviously Fujiko was pretty frustrated throughout the whole, especially the last section, when Lupin tricked her, to get his hands on that. I forgot the name of the thing, the necklace thing. And she started venting out to Zenigata in the end. That was funny. So yeah, a lot of things happened, and it was crazy. This arc was really good. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm guessing from in this episode, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I think we're probably going to get another mini story, like the mini stories that we get in the middle of the arcs. I'm guessing it'll be something like that, the standalone episodes. Let's see what this is about, and yeah, let us begin with the reaction. So yeah, I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is a preference, and let's get started. Just a sec. All right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. What is this? What? Wait, is that a gun? Countess. Ring. Okay. Wait, he failed. Okay. Mombasa. Or maybe he wants Lupin to find out. Uh, there you go. She probably wants him to find out. Three suspects. Yeah. Oh, are these the three people who she suspects? Okay. Hmm. So no stealing this time? Doing some detective work, I guess. And this kind of, you know what? As she says that there's like three suspects. This kind of reminds me of a Detective Conan, like, style episode. It's probably going to be like that, like three suspects. Like, now you have to deduce which person is the one behind the murder or whatever. So, all right, let's see. Introducing Detective Jim Barney 3. Okay, but then he died. He got a gun and shot him. Okay. So here we go. The suspects are here. I wonder what she told them and invited them. Okay. Ah. All right. Who is this one? Oh, nephew. Oh, he might have a grudge. Okay. Yeah, he absolutely has a grudge. And the final person? Mitt. Ah. Again, grudge because of that, maybe? Hmm. Okay. Yeah. But then what does. Yeah, why does she think that they're. Oh. Oh. Now we're going to cross check it? Wait, what? Oh. Ah. He grabbed the tea before falling. It's kind of why, like, Rupan kind of looked at this girl before, like, kind of suspiciously. I don't know why. Oh, this place also. What? Ah. Metal detector. Wow, this is like automated. Ah. Wow. Hmm. Okay. Guys drinking from what the hell? That guy brought his own alcohol. Muddy. Okay, let's see. Oh, there you go. The emerald. He picked that up awfully quickly. This is Frankenstein. Um, they're fighting amongst each other. Wow. What is okay? Hmm. Yeah, the DNA, which is obviously a fake. Yes, there you go. They're gonna. She's gonna try to throw them off. What the hell? Oh my god! What the? All right, I was not expecting that. Everything's under lockdown. I feel like there's something going on. Is she really dead? I don't know. She doesn't seem like a person who would kill herself to get to the bottom of things. It seems as if she would actually. Okay, okay, let's see. I'm a detective. Yes. Hmm. Guy's still drinking. I don't know. I get the feeling that the countess is still alive. Like this is like a play or something she's doing. And the other girl, the maid girl, knows about it or something like that is going on. Okay, so there's no one here, obviously, no intruders. Hmm. Or you know what? No, maybe she is dead. Like she's like laying like that. So, hmm, flash of light. Maybe it was hidden somewhere. Oh yeah, that's true. The flash of light. Oh, okay. Hmm. Oh, because of the light. They okay. Ridiculous. He is panicking. Okay. Have you seen him? Hmm. Oh my god. The reflection. The reflection. Something. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, doesn't fire from the Countess's gun. Hmm. Okay. How did he know? Okay. Some. Yeah. What's up with that? Huh. Yeah. The curtains. Oh, he's luring them outside. She was beside her. She was beside her. How could she shoot her? What? How? Gloves. Gloves. Oh. Oh yeah, she cannot grab anything. Yeah, I was thinking about that. But what about the reflect? Ah. Yeah, he didn't want the sun like a lightning to fourth guest. Maybe there's twins. Wait. As like I said, it's a twin. Probably to hide the. Yeah, obviously he saw that. Is it a twin or is it someone who looks like him? There you go, it's a twin. Hmm. Two of them. Two of them standing to yeah. That's why the cabinet was there. I realized that. Hmm. Okay. I don't know. I feel like there's something still kind of, or maybe no, it's okay. I don't know. I don't know why, but I kind of like it's like this is like a weird feeling I was getting of the like that girl and the lady, the countess. I was getting a weird feeling from both of those two. I thought like they're doing some kind of a, like there's like some kind of a trick going on. Like I can't see someone like that, the Countess, who was waiting up until this time to get, like, to get, I wouldn't call it revenge, but yeah, like to kind of go to the bottom of the things and see who the murderer of her husband was. I can't see someone like that voluntarily coming and sacrificing herself to get to the bottom of things. I think a person like her would actually try to be present up until the end and see the people who were responsible for everything, see them actually get justice. I think that she's a type of person like that. So actually seeing her sacrifice herself for, I was unable to accept it. So I was like, maybe she's trying to trick us, but maybe this is like a trick or something she's doing. Maybe she's alive. But then, and then that girl, like, I don't know, like, but I feel like, yeah, I think, there you go, that's it. I looked too much into things, I feel like. No, I was thinking like, like maybe there's something going on, maybe like some kind of thing, like, like is going on with the maid girl, with her, and yeah, but turns out it's nothing. I was over analyzing the situation. So there you go. All right. Okay, so this episode, it was a very nice episode. I really liked the whole detective, like, like a deduction thing that was going on here, and the trick was kind of nice. The whole twin thing. It was kind of interesting. At the beginning, I wasn't able to understand it, but as soon as like as soon as Lupin started talking about the reflection, and how the cabinet was there, it kind of clicked in my head, like, oh, maybe there's a twin or something, like, because reflection, and you can easily kind of replicate that thing by, if someone who looks the same as you is standing outside the window, you can easily do that, and something like that. And now I do wonder the reason why. Okay, I'll look at this part, at that part again, but and try to figure out like the reason for the cabinet. Why was it because it was muddy? I think probably that, because it was raining maybe, and she, like, he came in normally, but his brother had to come, like, by climbing up the, like, thing, and came from outside. So maybe the mud got stuck on his boots or something. That's why obviously, like, his leg, like, shoes would be clean, while his brother's shoes would be dirty. So it would kind of be like a like a weird thing. Like your reflection has muddy boots but you have clean boots. That will be weird. So maybe that is the reason why he put the cabinet over there. Who knows? I'll check that part out and try to figure out why he used the cabinet. But all right, let's look at this episode. This episode, we begin with Lupin being summoned by the Countess, and we can see that the Countess wants Lupin to go to help her get to the bottom of things, get to the get the answer to who is the one who killed her husband. So she talks about how that is the reason why she has called him here, and talks about how, like, oh, you've tried to get this emerald multiple times but have failed multiple times again, and she has all the pictures how Lupin, failed. So she's like, yeah, that because of that I called you here, and if you are able to help me out, you will get the emerald that you have wanted. I don't have any need for that. My husband is dead, but there's one thing that I need very much, that is, I need to get to the bottom of things. Who was the one who killed my husband? And she talks about how she has continued doing researching about the whole thing, and how Lupin says, but the police gave up, and she's like, yeah, that is the reason why I continued doing this, and I came to a conclusion and have narrowed down the suspects into 3 people. And Lupin is like, but then, the police is not foolish. Why would the police not suspect them? And she said that because they had alibis. And she her, what she will do here now is she's going to bring like a false she's going to bring like a false statement. She'll tell a false statement, which in this situation was like, we have your DNA. So which is going to make the criminal panic and mess up. And obviously Rupan, he's intelligent, he can probably get and catch that little mess up and will be able to come to a proper conclusion. That was her plan. A good plan, like tricking your enemies. Obviously, since like there will be a person. She was confident that like, out of these three people, definitely the criminal is in here. So she was confident, so she was like, yeah, out of these three, the person who will be guilty, definitely that person will panic, and by panicking, he'll give everything away. Because a guilty conscience, that is like, that's definitely going to give him away. So that was her plan. Now okay, so after that we kind of now here, this part, it was kind of unusual. Why did Rupan, where is this section where the girl comes in, Maria, I think that was her name or something. Okay, yeah, the girl comes in and she says like, the guests will arrive. I don't understand why Rupan looks at her in that weird manner. He's just looking at her, like very attentively. Why? Like, this part kind of threw me off. I thought maybe like, the maid girl and like the countess had like a plan together to trick them into faking her death or something. That's what I thought. That's why I was saying, like I was saying that, oh no, like, she's probably alive or something like that. I like, and I don't know. Another thing, the whole fact that her hand was burnt, like, she was doing her things pretty normally, wasn't she? Like, wasn't she the one who was pushing her wheelchair? How was she able to do that if she isn't even able to properly hold a pen? If it's that much hurting, how was she able to push the wheelchair? She was the one who was pushing the wheelchair, wasn't she? Or was it automated wheelchair? Just a sec. Where is that part? You know what? Okay, let us begin. I went to the middle section to see who was the one. Oh, it's automated. Never mind. Okay, there you go. That answers my question. I was going to say, like, if her hand is hurting that much, how was she able to push the wheel? And then I realized, no, it was automated. It was like an automatic wheelchair. Okay, never mind. Now we get to see, like, later on, we kind of after the opening, we kind of see how we get introduced to the man, who made the whole, like, like he's the one who made the security systems here. And that's why, like, everything is like automated and everything in this place. So because obviously he's like a very genius inventor. And here we kind of get to see that he, as they say, like, as the lady says, the countess says, that there were rumors that his business was going to go global, but before that he was shot in the park, like he was shot by a gun. So the three suspects here is, she brought the three suspects over here. The first one is world famous sommelier Frederick Oughtred. A collection of gemstone, has a lot of gemstones. Apparently been trying to pressure the count into selling his emerald. So that's why, obviously, that might be a potential reason for him trying to murder him. Okay, the next person, nephew, the count's nephew. Wait a minute, nephew, that means, okay, his brother's son. Yeah, nephew. Count's nephew, Alan Dubois. His father had a business that went to the wall, and after the count refused to help, he committed suicide. Obviously, that's why there might be a grudge against him, so plenty of reason to kill him. Okay, now the third one, Pierre Schmidt. Used to run a company that developed security systems tech, but it was brought out by the count and was never, he was let go, and business ventures didn't go, went off to the ground, and yeah, that's why a grudge again. Plenty reasons to kill him. So he's like, yeah, out of these three, someone might be the killer if you're thinking that, and she's like, yes. The police was not able to find, gave up on the case because all of them had their alibi. Now, one thing this is also making me realize another thing is that why and how did the guy, the nephew, how was he able to kill him with an alibi? Because they were twins. That's why. And wait, so the police did not realize that? Like, what? That's weird. Like, obviously his family should. Okay, I'll go to that part. I think like they kind of mentioned why they. Okay, I'll go to that part and read that section again. But anyways, now here we get to see that what the old, the countess has planned. Like she says that the killer tried to take the ring off of his finger but panicked, so that's why obviously the killer had his fingerprints on the ring. So she's going to use that as an opportunity to try to trap the killer. So that's why she was going to say that, oh, we have like a new technique, a new DNA isolation technique that we have gotten. So we have used that to figure out who the killer is. Obviously the killer is going to panic, and that's how we are going to get to know who this killer is. Like Lupin can probably figure it out, and Lupin is like, all right. Okay, now this part, I need to read this part. Lupin tries to open the balcony door, I think. Yeah, and she says the balcony is on the brink of collapse, so I've made sure the doors leading to it all are locked. It seems I'm not the one who had gone fragile. Oh, all the balcony doors were locked. Wait, so how was the guy able to get in? Is that why maybe that is the reason why the cabinet was there in front of the door. Okay, I'll check that part out again. There's a lot of things going on. Like this is the thing with like it's also happened with Detective Conan when I used to watch. Like at first, like there's like so many things, like the hints and everything, the clues, they like scatter around at the beginning of the case. Obviously when you're seeing it for the first time, you won't be able to recognize which parts are the clue and which parts are not the clue. They're having a normal conversation. So after that, when you get to the conclusion, you little by little start recognizing which clues were given out at the beginning. If you go back again and try to read, see that part again, you realize which clues were given out and which clues kind of connected to the end and kind of gave us the conclusion. So it's kind of interesting the way it like obviously it's the same thing is happening here. I'm pretty sure there's a few clues that are probably missing still, but that's why I'm checking everything out. Okay, so now the countess says that another thing, no other people will be able to come out because we have a face recognition system who only lets people in whose face is registered. Anyone outside coming in is going to sound an alarm. So anyone from outside interfering here is out of the book. So you cannot say that, oh, this is a job of some random some random robber or some random thug. Nothing, you can say nothing, nothing like that is going to happen. So that's why up until the end, Lupin was able to kind of stop them and say that, oh, you guys are not going anywhere, because the alarm would have sounded if someone else came in. So it's pretty much confirmed that out of the few guys, the criminal is here. So he was able to really stress on that factor. That is the reason why the facial recognition system, because otherwise they could have easily said something like, oh, we don't know, maybe some people maybe some random thug from outside came in and killed her or something. They could have said anything, but they cannot say that now because of the facial recognition system. And not only that, they also have a metal detector by the front door. And yeah. So now after that, we can kind of see. Rupan asks her that why me, and we can see like all these like in the scrapbooks. There's like a lot of pictures of Rupan and everything, and she says like how the like her husband became a fan of him little by little after he saw like his like how he did his job and everything. And that's why she is like, yeah, I figured it would be you would be the best for this job. Now after that, the countess comes in, and all these people, they're waiting, they're pretty much pissed off. They're like, what the hell is going on, like, why were we called here? Like, I thought we would get food, I thought we would go drinks, like it's like nothing. And okay, now the countess is like, unfortunately Mari is the only one here and we don't have enough to give you, but I wanted to show you something. And she shows them the emerald, and obviously everyone is like, oh, so this is about your husband's death. And they start like fighting amongst each other, like they're like talking about how like, oh, you might be the one who killed him, and the other person was like, no, like not me, but you might be the one who killed him. And they're like putting the blame on each other. Rupan's just yawning and like sketching their faces. Alan and Pierre. Alan is like this vampire, like, oh boy. Like then there's like the Frankenstein's monster as well. Oh boy. Okay. Now after that, we see the like them fighting amongst each other, and here the countess says that, oh, we have a way to find out the killer, and talks about the DNA thing, the fake thing. And she's talking about all about it, and the what do you call it, the light goes out, someone shoots him. And yeah, so there you go. Now here, like I said, at this point I kind of was under the impression that this was like a fake act that she was putting on. That is why, like there was like a like I said, I had a valid reason for thinking that this was a fake act, because I don't know, I felt like the countess would not be a type of lady who would actually sacrifice herself to get to the bottom of things. I always thought like she would be a type, like looking at her, like her personality and everything, I thought she would be that type of person who would up until the end try to survive to see the criminals come to justice. But I guess she was at the end of her rope, like nothing you could do about it. She probably would have preferred that, but unfortunately she was like, no, I don't have much time, so this is like the final like chance that I can get. Rupan is here, and if I act as a bait, like the criminal will obviously try to kill me, and we can trap them. And she took a risk, she took a risk, and it kind of like worked out just like she thought it would. They shot her, and that's why she was like, yeah, I kind of thought this might have happened, so everything is up to you, Rupan. Like use like everything will be locked down now, nobody can get out up until the morning. The emerald will unlock in the morning, so by the within that time, like you figure out who the criminal is. And yeah, now Rupan introduces him as Jim Barnett, a private eye hired by the countess. And he's like, yeah, there's only 6 people here, no more people, because of the facial recognition system, so it must be one of you. So there you go. Now Rupan starts investigating, and okay, so the countess has been is in the bed, and she obviously she's not alive anymore. And Lupin is like, all right, like I'm definitely going to figure out who the criminal is. And okay, so there's a few things that we need to think about in this situation. First of all, how was the killer able to shoot the countess in the dark? And obviously the Lupin comes up with a fairly easy explanation. The the wheelchair was electronic. The little light that was there, they were able to figure out the countess's position from that. Not only that, they find out the pollen, it has fallen on the ground, and at the beginning and before this it was not there, so someone must have brushed past it. Something like that one must have happened. Now the curtains are closed. They were open before before these guys were there, so someone must have closed them. So the reason why. Now now this is the part where I kind of thought like, oh, the curtains were probably closed because they did not want the lightning to interrupt their thing, like it could easily happen, like the light goes out, and obviously according to plan the killer would try to kill her, and suddenly the lightning strikes and like whole place like lights up, and bam, it's over, your identity is out. So to avoid that, I kind of realized that that's probably why they took down they covered the windows with the curtains, so that the lightning does not interrupt him, that person. Now, okay, so Rupan asks Marie about whether she has seen them after they have come. Like here, like, and does they have enough alibi? Like, like what are they? Oh no, sorry. Wait a minute. Oh, he asks like, has the people actually stayed in their room after this incident? And Marie says Frederick has left his room. I ran into him in the hallway near the stairs of the basement. Okay, and he was like, I was hoping to take a look at your wine cellar. There's so many things that are really inconsistent in this episode, I feel like. Why was he trying to find out the wine cellar? Am I missing something? Let me know if I'm missing something. The wine cellar. What could be there in the wine cellar? Cellar. I don't understand. Why was he acting so suspiciously over there? I don't know. Like this episode is extremely odd. Like there's so many sections that I feel like they kind of made it extremely suspicious, but they don't explain why that happens. Like for example, this scene. Why was he trying to find out the wine cellar, and why was he so angsty? He was like, "Oh, I'm just trying to find a wine cellar." Ah. And then when Marie was like, "Oh, unfortunately, we cannot open it," he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and leaves. Extremely weird, suspicious behavior. What the hell is that? Now, Lupin asks like, where is Alan and Pierre? Marie says, actually, I did see Alan in his room. When I was walking down the hallway, his door was ajar. And okay, so then she saw inside. Okay. He was staring out of the window. No, wait, the cabinet is not there. What then? What the hell is up with the? Okay, I'm getting confused here now. All right, so the cabinet was not here at this moment. He was just looking outside. Now, okay, now here we can obviously, now that I'm seeing it, it does look like someone is actually standing outside. Because of the shadow and the reflection are not coinciding in a weird way. It looks like weird in a way. But anyways, obviously Marie could not realize that. She won't be able to realize that because she was at a distance. Okay, now Lupin asks like, where is Mr. Pierre? And and Marie says like he was in his room. He didn't come out after that. Now here Lupin realizes something. Lupin puts his face like this. A lightning strike happens. Marie comes towards the sofa, and here Lupin sees. Okay, Lupin sees his reflection, and he he realizes like something like, the whole thing that there might be like a person who looks identical to him, who could be just standing outside, and it would seem the same. And he and I guess that's where he came to the conclusion that he has a twin. Now at this moment I wasn't able to come to a conclusion that that was a twin, but the later portion I was able to come, because at this point, like, I was like, oh, so Lupin has figured it out, but I still haven't. But then later on, it took me a little while to actually understand that it might be a twin. There might be a possibility of the twin. So, okay, so everyone is here now. Obviously, Lupin is like, the murderer is within you, and he says like, I figured out who it is, and let's start the deduction. So obviously the first thing that the suspects ask is like, what about the gun? Like, we were all like, frisked and our guns were taken away. So what gun did we shoot from, and where is that gun? And Lupin says that the bullet has been fired from the Countess's gun. And obviously these guys are like, what the hell, then how can we get it? Like, it was in, as you were saying, it was in her room. So how the hell can we go to her room, bring that gun, shoot her, and like, then bring it back, like return it back to her room again? How is that possible? And okay, so obviously it's a valid question. Now they're also saying like, we don't have a murder weapon on us, so how can we say that? Now Lupin says in this section is like, first the culprit removed the tapes recording the security camera footage. Okay, we can understand that easily, that could be easily done. After that, he waited for the right time to cut the castle's power. In the darkness, he used the light from her wheelchair to line up the shot and fire. Okay, killing the Countess. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Lupin is reading something from the book. The notebook is empty. It's empty, isn't it? And Mari looks at that, and Mari, like, is like, gets startled. Anyways, that was a random thing I suddenly saw. Anyways, now obviously everyone is like, how the hell can we do that? Like we were here from the beginning, and like, it's not possible. Okay, so Lupin says like, yeah, obviously you're right. No one in this place who was sitting here could have carried out the murder. Now this is the part where it kind of struck me, where Lupin says that no one in this room could commit the murder. Obviously this kind of implies, as he says, that there's another person, a fourth person other than these three. And that's when I kind of thought like, oh, maybe it's a twin. Okay, so obviously he says if anyone else is directed, an alarm sounds, so if the face is same, you can probably trick it. So there you go. Twin. Twins are twin is like the only explanation we have here, so that the alarm won't sound. Okay, so now this part I'm still unable to figure out what the hell is up with the pollen. Like, did his twin brush past it? That's why it fell down. Okay, he says that you'll note the rug underneath is covered with pollen. Apparently this wasn't the case before you gentlemen showed up. All right. Okay, he's like, why does it matter? Like, okay. Accidentally brushing past could have caused it. But question is, who would have brushed past the flower? Considering the amount of pollen, the person who did it is bound to have some on his clothes. Okay. So that's what he's trying to say. Like, it should be on the clothes. But out of you guys, none of you have it. So that again proves like there might be someone else. Yeah, but none of you have the pollen on your clothing. Now, there's something else that's odd. The curtains in the hallway window. According to Mari, she only closed the curtains in the dining room, and the rest are still open. So why are they closed? All right. Now, They're getting pissed off. They're like, what the hell? Like, why? What are you saying? Like, no, we don't give a damn about the cartons and the pollen. Okay, so Rupan is like, oh no, Rupan gets interrupted here, and that sommelier guy, he's like, oh, we have a theory, and he's like, we think that that girl is the one who killed her. Now he talks about how, like, he thinks that she is doing all of this for the inheritance and everything, and not only that, he's saying that she must have, obviously since she was with the countess, she had ample opportunity to get the gun, when the light is going to go down, go to the other side, shoot her, and then come back again, and later on, like, put the gun back in his own place. He has ample opportunity. That was his, like, reasoning. And obviously Mari is like, no, like, I'm not the one who did it. But then Rupan is like, all right, like, so let me help you out to take away your, your involvement, to take that away, like, let me show them and prove it that you're not the one who did it. So he says that, open up your gloves. And her hands are burnt. All right, so I now understand. Like, Lupin himself tells it. I wasn't able to properly, like, read this part and understand this part when I was reacting. Lupin says, this is why the countess chose you out of all her staff to work tonight. So the countess knew that this might come up. Someone might say this thing. So that's why she chose someone whose hand is burnt, so that it's going to help out, like, the detective, to say that, oh, this girl, she's innocent because she cannot hand anything, like, she cannot hold anything. So she says, I burned my hands in an accident 3 days ago, and he throws the pen, but she's not able to grab it. And okay, so there you go. So her name is out. Now Rupan says that, so my theory, listen to it. The curtains have been closed because the lightning might become a problem. So that's why he shut the curtain. Obviously, that's one, like, one explanation we have. The curtain explanation is over. I also kind of realized it must be a reason like that. So there you go. Okay, now that guy, the nephew, he says, like, but why is the hallway curtain? The door was closed the whole time. The killer was worried a flash would light up the room at an inopportune moment. At the moment, we were in total darkness when the power outlet went out and the door was open. And then the question comes in, who opened the door? Rupan says there was a fourth guest. The facial recognition system. Obviously, at this point, I was pretty convinced. Like, I think I myself said, like, is it a twin? And okay, so he calls out Alan, that is the nephew. In your room, you stood in front of the window that opened out to the balcony. Okay, I need to read this part. Opened out to the balcony, yes. What were you doing there? Okay. There was a cabinet stopping that window from... Oh, okay, sorry. I misread this part. I thought he was the one who brought in the cabinet. No, he was the one who took the cabinet away. Okay, so that's why there were no cabinet. Okay, I understand now. All right. Yeah, I kind of misread this part again. Like, like it rattled, like, and kind of confused me for a moment. All right, so there was a cabinet. He was the one who took it out to help his twin come in. Okay, there was a cabinet stopping that window from opening. Then why do you bother moving it? Okay, he says, like, this another thing. Your car tires are made hard work of driving through the mud in the way, right? Damn, Rupan even saw that, and he was able to, like, wow, like, who notices this? I guess he is like a master thief. He needs to keep, like, be very observable. So that's why, like, like the rear tires, they are a little bit heavier. Like, wow, he even noticed that. Obviously, that would mean, like, there's someone in the trunk or something in the trunk. and makes me wonder whether you had something heavy in your trunk, obviously, which would be his twin. And as he's saying this, like someone pulls out a gun from the curtains. Okay, it's the same method you used to kill the count 3 years ago. Obviously, like either he or his brother killed him, and the other person was probably involved with someone else. And obviously, when the police would question him, like, oh, where were you? He would be able to give the alibi because like his twin is actually in that part, confirming the alibi while he is killing the count. So there you go, perfect, alibi. Rupan says, you haven't answered my question yet either. Why did you move the cabinet? Okay, now he's trying to pressure him, and he's like, I have an alibi. Rupan says, unfortunately for you, that alibi doesn't hold water anymore. The countess sacrificed herself to pinpoint the killer, and her plan worked perfectly. And Mani kind of looks to the side towards the emerald, and someone shoots. Someone, obviously, we realize that it's Rupan who shot the guy. And yeah, his brother is down. Now, okay, twins, obviously it is confirmed. Okay, I'm trying to read this part because I need an explanation as to why the police were not able to figure out that he had a twin. Like, okay, now obviously we get the explanation that it was not his reflection, but it was actually his twin, and he just opened the door to probably let him in. Alan let his brother into the house after he got out of the trunk. Okay, now he talks about his past, about his father, how his father thought it was bad luck to have twins. He put his brother up for adoption. After my father killed himself, I was left penniless. I bumped into him again through sheer luck, and you plotted revenge. Okay, now, all right, that gives the answer to my question. I was saying, like, why did the police not know? But still, I was going to say, like, because he was put for adoption, and from his family name, maybe because of that, his name was probably erased from his family roster or something like that. That's why later on, when the police probably put a investigation on him, on his family, and the police probably just found out that, oh, he is the only person here because his father is dead and there's no one else. So that's probably why, because I was going to say, even if he was put for adoption, shouldn't there be previous records of, oh, he had a brother but he was adopted? But maybe like I said, maybe the family record was completely his name was completely taken out of the family record, and that's why even the police probably weren't able to realize that there was someone who looked identical to him, his twin. Like, if the police realized that, they would easily be able to pinpoint him as the killer. But they weren't, because he was adopted and his name was probably taken out of the family roster. Now, I feel like if the police did like a very thorough investigation on him, they probably would have figured out little by little that, oh, he had a brother once, But they did not do that, because they were content by seeing the family register, and they were like, oh, only one person. Okay, you're clear. You had an alibi. That's it. Obviously, they don't know that he had a twin brother. And they did not go into further investigation. If they did further investigation, it would have probably come out sooner or later. But they did not do it. That's why they were able to. Yeah, that's probably what happened. And there you go. That answers my question. And yeah, and that was it. The criminal has been apprehended. The emerald unlocks, and Rupan puts the emerald on her hand, on the countess's hand. And he's like, oh, when she goes up there, how can she go up there and face her husband without the emerald ring? So I'm just returning it back to her. And Rupan is like, oh, Mari, if I later on, if I start a detective agency, you become my assistant. Yeah, and that's where it ended. a really good episode. It was like a different, like, like I said, it felt like watching a Detective Conan episode, with the 3 or 4 criminals being uh, being gathered in one place, and someone deducing who the actual culprit is, and in the end, with all the alibi and everything, little by little bringing out the actual reason why that person killed him. And also, after we being able to find out who the criminal is, the person telling their backstory about, oh, what happened to him and his past. Like detective, like this is the formula of Detective Conan. Like obviously, Detective Conan does this. Something happens, obviously Conan is there ready to deduce, and he's like, oh, everyone stop, don't move, you people are the suspects, you stand there. And then he starts doing his investigation. Obviously Mori is there with him, Mori does the investigation or whatever, and Conan thinks about it. And then after coming to a conclusion, obviously with his the thing, the tranquilizer thing, he deduces everything, comes to a conclusion, and pinpoints the criminal with proof. And then the criminal sometimes tries to do something drastic. They try to attack the someone or something, or they try to run away, or they start crying down, break down crying. Either of these three happens, they either try to attack you, either try to run away, or breaks down crying. So sometimes or the other, some way or the other, they're able to stop the criminal. Sometimes, there's one time I remember Ran just kicked the criminal in his face, and he just went unconscious, or something like that happened when he tried to attack Conan or something. And sometimes something else happens, the police catches them or something. That happens similar to that here as well. As soon as the identity came out, his brother tried to kill Lupin, but Lupin was ready. Lupin just shot him. And then the time comes to get to know the reason why they did it. And obviously there is some way or the other, some kind of a reason why they did it, betrayal, maybe vengeance, maybe there are also sometimes we've seen in Detective Conan that they actually mistake the whole thing. And it's very rare, but there's 2 or 3 cases I remember where they mistakenly thought that this person did something and just tried to kill that person. And then in the end, after the investigation comes to a conclusion, Conan just says that, oh, you were mistaken, this is not how it happened, this is how it happened. And then they realize that they just tried to kill someone when that person was not even at fault. And then they start crying. This have also happened multiple times. But obviously here we get to see the reason why these guys did it, because of the whole his father put them to adoption, then they found out, and obviously the grudge against this guy. That's why they plotted revenge. And yeah, and in the end, that is where it ends. So there you go, that was it, and that was my reaction to. So but there's a few things still that is kind of bothering me so much, especially one thing. Why was that sommelier trying to find out? Oh, because he's a sommelier. That's why. I was saying, why was he trying to find the wine cellar? That's probably why. Alright, okay, it kind of makes sense now. I was so weirded out. I was like, why was he suddenly in the middle, after someone died, why was he suddenly trying to find out the wine cellar? And now I realized, maybe because he's a sommelier, that's why. He wanted to see the cellar or something, that's why he was sneaking around or something. Maybe he thought oh, they have some kind of a really good costly wine in the cellar, and that's why he was sneaking around trying to figure it out. But then he realized that he cannot do it because the lady has not allowed it, the countess. So yeah. Oh no, wait, this happened before she died. Okay, yeah, that yeah. Okay, I have my answer. That was one thing that was bothering me. I have my answer, because he was a sommelier. That's why he was trying to find out the cellar. Okay, so anyways, that was it. That was my reaction to episode number 17. Yeah, wait, was it 17? Yeah, 17 of Lupin the Third, part 5. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to this channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, and I'll check them out. And that is it, guys. So like I said, one episode today. Next week I'm going to do 2 episodes, but then the week after that I might be doing 1 episode again. And yeah, but eventually, definitely, like like I'll try not to miss a week, even if I can, like even if I have to, like I'll do like at least 1 episode. I'll not try to miss a week, but I'll try to little by little complete this season and then go to season 6. But either way, thank you for watching, and yes, I'll see you guys tomorrow, next week, with 2 more episodes of Lupin the Third part 5. So until then, goodbye and have a nice day.